Hey, welcome to day 17 of JavaScript arrays in 30 days. We're moving forward with our imperative to declarative programming conventions for arrays in JavaScript. For the last couple of days, probably a little bit more than that, we've been working on taking the imperative ways that we manipulate data using JavaScript arrays, but at the same time having to uh, explain through our code how we're going to do so. In meaning that we have to, hold state and we have to reach outside of like for loops or the likes of those, and then so having to do so, we're actually going against the ideas of functional programming, which I think that's where we're leading towards as we continue on with this 30 days of arrays. Because yeah, as you've seen, we've started working with our own methods that we have been creating, concat map, concat all, and and then our own reducer. Today, we are going to go back a step and look at an imperative way of introducing the ability to combine two arrays into one. And anybody out there that is familiar with RxJS will know about the zip method that you're able to use with RxJS. And that's what we're going to do here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to first today introduce the imperative way of being able to take two arrays and index by index be able to combine them together. So there's metaphors out there in regards to how you can think about zip. Uh, in my best way of trying to think about it without having to use other people's examples is that when somebody tells you to zip it, if you're talking too much, and what that's happening is that there's a couple things. One is that you're closing your mouth, and so you're bringing your lips together. So so your top lip is can be considered an array. Your bottom lip can be considered an array, and you're bringing them together. At the same time, inside of your mouth, you're closing your mouth, so you're closing your teeth. So you got a whole array. I guess you could say index of teeth. I guess you could say on the top and the bottom of your mouth, and as you close your mouth and you zip it, you're bringing your teeth together, top and bottom. So I don't know if that's the best way of explaining it, but that's my way of trying to do so. And there's others out there, but needless to say, I don't think we have to go. So what we have to do here is we have to go back to our imperative ways of programming in order to be able to accomplish this. And so what we have to do is when it comes to the imperative ways is that we have to not only um, explain, tell the program what we need and what we want, but we also have to tell the program how to do it. So with that in mind, this is that we have to actually set up some state, and then we can go ahead and create this array that's got an object inside of it which holds the video ID and the bookmark ID. So if we get started, we know that we have to loop through these. And so in an imperative fashion, we will use for today a for loop. And so most of the time we have to, because we're combining arrays with indexes, is have a counter. And that's going to hold the state of where we're at as we go through each index of the arrays. And then we need an array that's empty that then we can store the video and let's bookmark, bookmarks, video and bookmarks. So we have ourselves a little bit of state that we're putting together, and that's our counter and our videos and bookmarks. Now, in order to bring this together, again, this is that we need to be able to loop over these. So in order to do so, this is that our counter is going to hold a state for us, and we're going to start with the counter at 0. And then we're going to take the counter and check and see if it is, yikes, less than math.min videos.length and bookmarks.length, and then increment. Now let me explain something before we get started. So this whole concept of math min on the videos length and the bookmarks length, this is that at the most is that we want to have a minimum of whatever is the smallest between the two arrays. So as long as this counter, so if you note, take a look here, this is that we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 objects inside of this array. And then if you go into the bookmarks, we've got 3 objects inside of this array. So if we take the minimum, this is that we know that the counter has to be less than the bookmarks, because there's less objects in the bookmarks than there is the videos. So now that we're inside of this for loop, we have to create an object each time and then stuff it inside of this empty array. And before we do that, we just have to know that we are going to return the video and bookmarks. So all we have to do is, most of the time that we do, is that videos and bookmarks, we're going to push an object. And so the object is going to be a video ID and a bookmark ID. So it's pretty simple here, I think, to understand that we're going to take the videos at the counter index, and we need to get the ID. So here we're going to grab the ID, and then here we're going to take the bookmarks at the counter. Is that the same as well? And grab the ID. And let's see what we return. And so there we go. Let's grab this. Okay. That is... Okay. So here in this pop-up you can see this is that we've got video ID. Let's see if we can't compare these. 470 and bookmark ID 470. So here's the first one, 470. And here's the first one, 470. So what you can do is, let's see if we see the relationship here. So we got the ID, and we've got the ID. So what we've put together here is that we've got the video ID and the bookmark ID. And so you can see here, if you're taking a look up top with the open bookmarks, is that then it looks like it's taking the last 3 digits from the video ID, and then the bookmark ID shows the time stamp that you've bookmarked. So with 470, we've got a bookmark ID of 470, and then it shows the time that you've bookmarked, and then you've got the same for 453, and bookmark ID 453 in the timestamp of where you put that, and then the same. Now you'll see here is that we got 3 of them, and even though in here we've got an extra one, 445 is where we end. We don't have one for 465, and that's where that math min comes in, because the minimum between these two is 3. So that tells us that there would be no way to have a bookmark that relates to 465. So we only have bookmarks for 3. And so we look up top here and we see the association between the video and the bookmark. So pretty much what we've done here in an imperative fashion is, again, we're holding some state, and then we're looping through the videos and the bookmarks. And for each time that we loop through, this is that we're going to push an object that's got the video ID and the bookmark ID, and then we're going to push that into this empty array. And then as it gets populated, we're going to then return that array. Book. I guess I'm going to have to do some changing here. Bookmarks, and bookmarks. I don't think we need videos and bookmarks. So, anyways, what we've done here with the introduction to how we're going to create our zip method tomorrow is that we've introduced the imperative approach, and what we're going to then do is tomorrow with creating our new zip method is actually just take and abstract all of this how to and put it inside of our zip method, so that then we can just use the zip method to get what we want when we're actually using that method. So this is an introduction to how zip works, and just for those who are curious, otherwise, I guess I should have said this at the beginning, is that you could just skip over this and just go and wait for tomorrow, or if you've already, if we already have a tomorrow by the time you watch it, you can just jump ahead to the zip method video for day 18. So this wraps it up for us today, and I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you, well, yeah, I won't see you because you don't see me. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you.